It is a lot redder. I guess that's supposed to mean it's a hot day tomorrow, right? See, and I attribute that color to the fires on the West Coast. The smog, the fire, that you can't barely see the mountains. And that's the smoke. I was editing my latest video. I was about to put it out, and I realized I must have deleted a story, and I'm going to have to slip in here now. When I was about 17, 18, I got down on my hands and knees and told Jesus, God, that I wanted the answer. I wanted it now. And I heard in my head, plain as day, get up and do it yourself. Basically, and that was the physical words I heard, but I felt another message, like, when you think I have enough to do, and basically stuff that would come out of my mouth as my personality. But that experience at 17, 18 is when I began my search. I remember saying this on the video, maybe it's in the last video, I don't know, but after being married and divorced, and at some point I decided to tear religion away, and it was not an easy thing to do. I tore everything away, and there are parts of it that are still there. I'm so programmed, but what is that? I redefined those things. So this was not an easy thing for me to do, to rip away from religion. But I mention it in a couple of clips coming up, so I'll just let that finish. That little story is what I'm talking about, and why I tore religion away from me in my life. I'm having this strange feeling like I come down to the Denver area, and it was a last-minute thing, and it's almost the middle of the afternoon. When the computer didn't have time to program people here. Either that or malls are just dying. That's probably it. A few times here. But this line changed for me. Tell me what you remember this line being right here. Don't mind the upside screen.
Mother, did it need to be so high?
Mother, did it need to be so high is what I just heard. That is not what I recall. I recall something else. No, we won't get your face in there, but they got flags on the top of them. And you said it was propellers.
Yeah.
December 27th, 2016.
When did Prince die?
I asked him, he said about the same time.
April 6th. April 21st.
April 21st, yeah. I know.
Well, I just had almost a 2-hour conversation with Guy Fawkes. All that time I didn't ask him. Great conversation, great talking to you, Guy. And we talked about getting me on the Mandela Monday show, so we'll see if we can get that together. Great. I tell you, a lot of things we talked about just made me want to do some videos. I'm like, no, I got enough material. I'm having problems getting out now.
You're smoking Medmo, too. Smell it? Smells like a campfire.
Really?
I can smell it.
So I wake up all energized, ready to go, ready to get this day on the road. And everybody else is just like, blah. Everybody's tired. I don't know. I'm trying to, piece everything together. So, because for me, it's not noticing changes in products and pop culture
there's other changes going on here, or people's attitudes and moods. But thing is, what have I been saying? It could be me. And I'm still debating on whether or not I should give you some specific stories that I went through, because these things that I did are not my normal personality to do them the way I did them. And I really didn't felt bad, or I got rid of the guilt and I just dealt with it. It ended up being the right thing to do, the best thing to do, and I feel like, oh, that was a lesson for me. And then right behind it, that was a lesson for me. And then right behind it, and they were all kind of connected. And that's what I got from that. I mean, that taught me not to let people walk on me. Even if I'm being nice or trying. Did you watch it last night?
Yeah.
And I got halfway through.
Actually, there's a couple things that are different. First of all, they did say you're going to need a bigger boat.
Not we're going to be.
I don't really understand that with 3 people being in the boat.
I didn't get to that part yet. I watched
and
half
it being
of it.
the guy's boat, you know. Also, dude said, fuck, what was that one word? I know it was different.
Excuse me?
Yeah. It wasn't Tiger.
That was pretty cool. Did you finish it?
I did.
That was it. And you saw just a couple things.
Those are the 2 main ones that I remember. But I do remember it being like a bull or a tiger or something. Or some sort of different shark.
Guaranteed they said it's a tiger shark. That's what because I was listening for that. Like, what kind of sharks and stuff. And I'm like, but I'm not going to remember what it was when I saw it 75, 76.
Well, there you have it, guys.
Thanks, Franco. Yeah, and tried to get a couple people to watch Jaws because it just popped up on my Netflix, and I thought I'd get a handful of people to watch it and see if I could find a bunch of people talking about discrepancy. I feel like I need to walk around with a GoPro on the top of my hat. The things people say to me just when they say hello is hysterical. Everything's a timeline. and they get it, and they talk with me about it. Yeah, I think so. That is the moon. I thought that might have been a light. Oh, wait. It is a light. Do you remember, and I don't know if it's on the last video or this one, but do you remember when I said interesting yellow hue?
I have been feeling great. When I get that happy feeling, I take it a step further and try and go happier. Or I do go happier. Every time I think of it, it's really getting cold up here. I get excited. I prefer, today was beautiful, like 70 degrees, nice breeze, and just mountains beautiful, and it's just a great day. I got up early, walked around, went to a couple places, talked to people, came back, took a nap so I can go work till 3 in the morning. It was a really nice day. But I've been really feeling good about things. And I see, and I think I said this before, I see people around me having a tough time of things. Made me wonder if I should talk about some of the personal things that happened to me in the last couple of weeks, because for me, it might have seemed like a bad thing, but it ended up teaching me something and making me a stronger person. And that was about 3 specific instances that I caught on right away and did what I felt was right for me, and it ended up being the absolute right thing. job's fantastic. Where I live's fantastic. My friends are fantastic. The people that I needed to shed from my life are not here anymore. If I run into them occasionally, it's a hello and that's it. I actually feel like there are a couple of things, people that I need to speak to about things, but the circumstances are not coming up. And for the proximity of where they are to me, it should be happening, and it's not. So maybe that's on them and it ain't on me, or maybe it's been taken care of in another timeline. Just don't look right to me at all. I have so many people come up to me and go, why don't you just shift? They're right. I've been listening to a radio show or some sort of show about Mandela effects. I thought it was very interesting. I enjoyed it. I'll link it. And this goes along with a couple of comments. I don't see, for me, I mean, I don't know. It's all theories, but, you know, a lot of people have been saying, we've been moved. This is not my reality. This is not my earth. This is not my world. We've been moved. I really don't necessarily think we've been moved. I guess it all depends on your terminology and how you word things. I think your consciousness shifted, or it was forced to shift, which is probably more accurate. And it forces to shift when you pass or you die or you injure your body in a way that it can't function anymore, and you shift. One of the comments said that somebody said, my father always says, you can't kill me, I'm the star of this show. I love that. Awesome. Makes total sense to me now, or to them now, right? Oh, okay. Well, we'll decide later.
We'll see if I can. So the Mandela effect, it's like they think something happened in history, where there's like a whole people that swear that a particular thing happened in history, but then other people are like, that's not actually what happened.
Okay.
Is it something like that?
You're close. I'll give you an example. How many people were in the car when JFK was murdered?
There was
No, like 3,
No,
4.
it's 5.
5.
It was the driver, it was John Tower and his wife, and
JFK.
and Jack Yale.
Okay, but how many do you remember? I mean, you said 3. Now you're going to 4 and 5?
Because I was counting it out.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So you say
Wait.
5.
I say 5. There's got to be that 5th one that you don't know about. Okay, there's a
No, he
show.
just
So you really think there was
just named
4?
the 5 people.
Okay.
He just named the 5 people.
Well, some of them, I don't recall one of the people he mentioned. So,
Okay.
as a matter of fact, I'm sure in the
There's
80s.
something about the Berenstein Bears too.
We could one at a time now, lady. One at a time.
Sorry.
Whoa!
Well, we haven't even gotten to Mandela yet.
You've been here before. There are 6 people in the car.
6.
Who was the 6th?
I don't know who the 5th was. You guys are saying the 5th. I studied it in the 80s. There was 4 people in the car. I studied each individual. There was 4 people in the car. In this timeline, there's 6. Did you hear me? In this timeline, there's
Oh, in the
6.
timeline. Okay.
This time.
Because I feel, after 2 years of experience with other things as well, that it's your consciousness that shifts in other timelines that are also running alongside wherever you're at,
Right.
which is what I call your dominant consciousness. I got a year and something of videos on YouTube trying to work myself into this, trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm teaching other people as well, or helping other people, pissing other people off too. I just delete
I
things.
shouldn't be pissed off. It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Yep.
I mean,
But, well, you're mad because why? You already know about it and you don't want other people to know about it, maybe?
yeah. You never know.
Could be it. Some people don't see all the changes, though. What do you want, Jim? That I took off the unified field device, and one cat was playing with one end, and the other cat was playing with the other end. I know I've done video on that, and it's been a few days. I haven't had that on since. Now, I don't know if it's a coincidence or what the deal is, but I have not had a bad day. That happy feeling just gets happier. I did do some video on how I'm waking up in great moods. And just today specifically, everybody, there just was down. And everybody's like, I'm tired. Everybody's saying they're tired. I've been fine. I've been feeling excellent, and I'm bringing that vibration higher and higher, and I can almost see if there is one way to go and another way to go, which, as I'm sure you realize, for me, infinite timelines, there's multiple ways to go and multiple ways to go in each direction. And I'm sure it's more than that. But what I've been seeing is I'm almost seeing the people that are taking that lower vibrational path, and I'm seeing the ones who are taking higher vibrational paths. I mean, that's how I'm seeing it. I don't know, though. Just theories, people. Woke up refreshed and ready to go. It was a great morning. Played with the cats. Got up. Started walking around town. I realized everybody's just out of it. I'm like, are you kidding me? And everybody's like, nah, everybody's just tired. I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. No, I'm tired today. Everybody I spoke to was just tired. Not me. They don't have propellers, they have...
Yeah, flags.
Flags.
Weird. I could have sworn they always had flags.
So does JCPenney look like it's always been spelled that way to you?
It used to be an apostrophe, yes.
Really?
It used to be JCPenney's.
No E? Or that other E? The second E was always there for you? But it was apostrophe. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I remember taking off the unified field device and the cats were playing with it, and I haven't put it on since. It's been 3 or 4 days. I've been getting in great moods, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. There are a list of things that I'm seeing I'm doing and not doing. I found some trace minerals, staying away from the sugar. That's so important for me with the hyperglycemia. But these things, I mean, this morning I woke up in a testing mood, but no, my mood was fantastic. My body just didn't want to wake up. My mind was clear, ready to go. But because of the way my body felt, even though I knew and felt fine, I was still acting like my body felt. And I knew it. So, was it a test? And if it was a test, I don't think I snapped at somebody for saying hello. I mean, this is somebody I don't need to be their friend and don't want to be their friend. This is somebody that I shed away. And I didn't need to go that far. I should have just said hello. But with the unified field device, if I felt a difference, it was better not wearing it. And I kept wondering, should I snap it on now that I feel like I'm in a good spot? That piece of tinker, that tinker thing, that little tiny thing, I'm not going to let that control my life. Not a chance. I'm not going to let anything or anybody except me control my life. It's the triangles and the A and the E I'm looking at. I think it's important to make it clear that, I'm not against religion. It's just, for me, it's just wasn't something, I've talked to people who are like, no, I've never had a religion, never brought up, and he laughs at people. And I'm like, well, that's not right. I mean, I don't think there's any punishment for not believing in something higher, a higher power than you. I don't think there's going to be punishment for that. Because if the Creator or God is upset by that, then he's just going to pinch you out of existence anyway. So who gives a flying? I mean, I hope I am not coming off as disrespectful to anybody. And Mom, if you're watching, I know. Can I tell you that this woman has said to me,
You are not my son. And she means it in terms that I speak because I speak with her. She goes, that must be on another timeline. I mean, she jokes with me like that, and I got to tell you, I'm not being disrespectful with any religions. Believe what you want to believe. That's where you are. You need that right now. Or maybe you need to break away from that right now. Or maybe you need to put down the cigarettes. I don't know. I mean, this is, I don't know. Maybe you have to stop listening to that music. I mean, can you, for a second, even consider dropping your beliefs completely? I mean, could you? Because I sincerely didn't just believe it, knew it for a fact, 100%, that the Earth is a ball flying through space. And after 2 years of exploring that, I still don't know. I don't know now.
The moon tonight has been orange. It's probably not as bright and as orange as it was. And back when I was 19 and I had that experience, I didn't just drop religion. It was years before I even decided to try that. And I was married and divorced. And at the time, I seriously felt like I really needed to do that. Man, that is not an easy thing to do. But it was not an easy thing to drop the belief that the Earth is a ball flying through space. And I needed to do that as well, true or false. I needed to drop the belief because it wasn't in my experience. It doesn't matter what you believe unless it's in your experience. Okay? I don't care what they've taught you about anything. You could put all religions right in the category right now with the flat Earth, because you're listening to other people and what they believe and what they were taught from other people and what they believed and what they were taught from other people. Just making a point. I mean, do with it what you will. That's what Photo Helix said. Take what you want and let go what you don't want. This is not a conversation. I don't even know how I got on this. I really didn't want to get on this. Although that's not true. I've thought about talking about this for a long time because I've had people attacking me, with, you better get yourself straight because Jesus is coming and, okay. You know what? I have a relationship with Jesus, maybe. It's none of your business. Okay? But it's not an easy thing to do, I'll tell you. And when I did it, it was freeing. It was freeing. When I decided that it could not be proven to me whether the Earth is a ball or flat. It was freeing. Once I realized that's not what it was. It was about what's in my perception. And wars are not in my perception. Hurricanes and floods are not in my perception. You know what? I'm sorry. They weren't in my perception until they became in my perception because of the computer. I've had conversations with people down there, and I feel like I'm not being as sympathetic as I should be. I feel like I should ask, hey, is everything okay? Are you, how's the family? I hope everybody's all right and everything, but I feel like I should be doing more. Why? They're fine. They're getting through it without me. And it's only in my perception because of some emails. I'm telling you. And I'm shocked about how long it's been going on and how long it's been out of my perception. But now that it's in my perception, well, maybe I'm supposed to do something. Maybe I'm supposed to talk to somebody or donate, or do something about it, or something will come up where I'm supposed to. I don't know. But
but because is it actually in my physical perception? No. So we'll see. Am I sympathetic that people are going through some hard times now? Yeah, sure. But that's happening all the time. I could just, walk down the street and see a guy in the corner talking to himself, asking for money for a beer. I mean, and yeah, I'll give him money or whatever, but not for a beer. I'll buy him a sandwich. I guess just right here is I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just being real. I'm sorry. There were some tough views there, and there were some tough views for me to get around. And for the beings that are out to help us, I'm all for it. If they want to help, if we're in trouble and we don't know it, that's great. I don't think we're in trouble. I think this is the beginning. I think this is the beginning of an incredible life physically. I think the Christ self, if we can define it that way, is going to come down, and it already started to, and it has been. And I'm just, there are definitions. Use whatever word you want. My higher self is coming down in me, and I've been consciously feeling it and doing it. And when I don't get sick, I haven't been sick, twice in my whole life, and I attribute that to now shifting. And I'm not used to the body. I think back on those times, and I'm like, well, they were pretty dramatic times right after I got sick. I mean, so why not? Why not? What do they call it? 24-hour flu? Oh my God, it was 90 degrees outside. I was in a hot shower, and I was freezing, and I had the heat on. I mean, and shortly after that, I broke up with the love of my life. I mean, and that everything changed from there. And every time there's a shift now, everybody here was stomach pains. Not from the food, not from the bar, not from anything. It was just, and everybody attributed it to, school's opening and everything. And no, I'm saying you shifted and you're just not used to it. And the whole religion thing with, look, I don't like the two-faced stuff. If you want to believe something, God bless you. That's awesome. I think religion is very important for some people. And you need that. I think when they gather and they are praying together, I think there's power there. I think there's energy there. I think if there are dark forces behind the religion, if there are other agendas behind the religion, I don't think those people have anything to do with that. I don't think they're giving that energy away. That's their energy, and they're in there for the right reasons. And because they're in there for the right reasons, that's for them. They're not giving their energy away to any nefarious groups or anything. I feel like I should have started out with that, because it does have its place, or it did have its place. Because I do have a lot of feelings and a lot of ideas about those, about religions and the beings, because I'm going to be perfectly honest. I've followed guides. I've decreed often, still do occasionally. I've changed them up a bit, because the first minute of my decreeing was, naming every god and saint that I knew of and believed in or thought of or read about. And one of them got to be right. I mean, and I did that for years. And I'd say since 2015, if I did it, and it does help, I'm still in contact. If I take it or want the advice or whatever it is I feel, then that's on me. It's up to me. It's still up to me. So, and I'm not, this is This is where my power is. And I've been freaking great. I mean, you know, negativity comes my way and it's a test and I'm passing. You know, and I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that it took me as long as it did to find out these things were tests. But I guess if I knew right away, that wouldn't be a test. Oh, what else? Hey, you done much of me.
It's yellow again, and I don't know if it's really yellow, but it might be because of all the smoke from all the fires around us. The sun's had a yellow haze around it the last couple of days, and the moon was kind of a cream color. And I am guessing it's because of the fires. Not fair for me to say, hey, I've come across a handful of new products I've never seen before, stores that I've never heard of before. You know, I've been living in the middle of the mountains, and I don't watch TV, so how would I know? You know, so how am I going to notice a change or anything if I'm not constantly looking at things? I mean, it's definitely more aware.